In this video, we're going to be talking about trading with crypto bots. Is it worth setting it up? What are the pros and cons? In this video, we're going to be going everything that you need to know. So if that sounds interesting, definitely stick around. Now, when it comes to crypto bot trading, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding on how bot trading works. So hopefully this video is informational, gives you a better idea of how bot trading works. For this entire video, I'm going to be using an exchange called Pionex. They've been an amazing partner of this channel. I do have referral links down below if you guys are interested in signing up. I do have referral links down for the US exchange and for the non-US exchange. What I want to do first is explain how everything works. Then I'll kind of show how to set it up step by step and go over the pros and cons of bot trading. Also, just a reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor anything that I share in this entire video financial advice. So make sure you guys do your own research and due diligence before you make any investment decisions. So right now we're looking at a grid trading bot that I set up with Ethereum. I invested a total of $10,000 and currently I am up around 26% at $2,600. If you look at the chart, you can see a bunch of green lines and you can see a bunch of red lines. To keep it very simple and there's no over explanation needed, when the price of whatever bot you set up, in this example, it's going to be Ethereum, goes down, it's going to buy every single little line that you see. So basically, whatever I invested, it's going to dollar cost average down. And then when the price goes up, it'll sell in little increments and it's going to continuously lock in profits. So what the bot is doing is it's buying when it's dipping and it's selling as it goes up. If we zoom out of the chart, there are bunch of lines, multiple lines, and this is basically parameters that we'll be setting, and I'll show that as an example. But as long as Ethereum is within that $2,000 to $4,000 range, it's going to continuously buy the dips and sell as things go up. If Ethereum price ends up dipping all the way down to like $2,600, then all of this will turn red, and as Ethereum price goes up, it's going to turn all green. I hope that made sense. I don't want to over explain how this works. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go inside the app and we're going to go ahead and set up a bot so you can have a better understanding of how this works. Now, before you set up a bot, you can always go to the homepage on the preset bot section and you can scroll down and explore other people's bot that they have set up. There's one called a money printer, someone from Catawampus, PF55. I don't know who all these people are, but these are people who have set their bots up that they want to share. Like Money Printer says, meme coins on Solana are skyrocketing these days. Hold tight with this new Sol AI bot. You can click on the details of the bot. You can see how the bot is performing, and you can also scroll down to see what the community is also saying about the bot. If this is something that you're interested in, you can always click on create and then decide how much you want to invest. But before we do that, we do have to deposit funds into the account. So the first thing you do once you sign up for an account is you're going to have to deposit funds into your account. You click on deposit and you have three options. You have the debit card, the wire transfer, and you can deposit cryptocurrency that you may already own on a different wallet or exchange. In my case, I want to deposit some cryptocurrency and specifically USDT. Once you have funded your account, you can either copy a bot that already exists on the homepage, or you can click on bots on the bottom center, click on create on the top left, and then there's the grid trading bot option, the DCA bot, rebalancing bot. There's a lot of different bots you can experiment with, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to be specifically focusing just on the grid trading bot. 24/7, buy low and sell high, which is pretty much what it does. And now you have two options here. You have the AI strategy, or you have the customized option where you can set your parameters on what price range you want to trade at and how often you want your grids or your trading bots to buy and sell. For the AI strategy, there's a back test, right? You can see how it did the past 7 days. It would set the price range between 54.6K and 73K, and it's going to have 59 grids. On the 30-day back test, it's going to have 71 grids and trade between the $51,000 to $78,000 range. And then there's the moon option. I actually have no clue what this is, but I do like how the 30-day looks, right? I like the fact that it'll trade Bitcoin when it's in the 51 to 78K range, because that's a pretty nice range, right? It's only going to be setting up 70 grids, so it's going to not trade too often, which I do like as well. So we're going to go ahead and invest all click on create. And just so you're aware, anytime there is buying and selling within your trading bot, there is going to be a 0.3 to 0.58% fee. For some, that might feel like a lot, and for some, that might sound reasonable considering that there is a bot that will be trading for you on a regular basis. So when you look at the parameters, you can see that it says about 60% Bitcoin and about 40% USDT. In other words, the moment I set up this bot, it's going to use $600 to buy Bitcoin at its current price. That way, when things go up, it can sell, and it's going to keep 40% on the side in case when Bitcoin goes down to buy the dips. It all makes sense in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And right now you can see that the bot is being created and the bot has been set up. And basically I let it sit and let the bot do its work and check on it every now and then to see how it's performing. Now let's go over the number one biggest misunderstanding about crypto trading bots. And that is that you will not automatically be in profit the moment you set up your bot. The most common comment that I see about crypto trading bots is, this does not work. I'm already down on my trade, or I'm red, or I'm negative. This doesn't work. This is a scam. And that's how it could be if the market goes down. Because why? The entire crypto trading strategy bot is designed for you to buy in and dollar cost average in and dollar cost average out. If the bot automatically went green from the beginning, you either bought at the bottom of the market and the market rallied up, or it's a complete scam, because if anything turns green the moment you buy it, everyone would flood into it. But that's also a huge red flag. So let's go back to my Ethereum grid trading bot as an example, right? Let's say you set up your bot right here at this current price, and then all of a sudden, an hour later, Ethereum decides to just crash 10%. Remember how earlier the parameter you saw that it was like 60% Bitcoin and 40% USDT? Well, what's going to happen is you will be down on your initial investment. You set up your bot over there, basically you bought there, and the price dipped, so you're going to naturally be down on your position. But if the market decides to recover and rally back up, instead of being at break even at your initial cost basis, you're actually going to be slightly in profit because you bought the dips, or the bot bought the dips on the way down, and it's going to be selling on the way up. Now, earlier when we set up our bot, you had the option of copying someone's bot, or the AI option, or the customized part. You can customize your own AI bot with the parameters, customizing your parameters, right? I'll try to explain this part as simple as possible. So when I set this bot up, I set up a parameter of $2,000 and up to $4,000. So as long as Ethereum is trading within $2,000 to $4,000, it's going to be buying and selling in that range. If Ethereum dips below $2,000, there are going to be no more green lines. And in the same way, if Ethereum decides to shoot over $4,000, there are going to be no red lines. Now, the amount of grids you could set up is going to be completely up to you. Let's just use this whole range as an example. You can either choose to set up 20 grids in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth and so on, or you can actually set up like 70 grids, and there's going to be a lot of micro lines, and that is going to determine how often you want your bot to buy and sell. So if you have less grids, it's going to be buying, it's going to gap out the buys, and so it's going to be buying in bigger chunks, and it's going to be selling in bigger chunks. Whereas if you have more grids, then it's going to be buying more frequently in smaller increments and also selling more often in smaller increments. So for this Ethereum bot that I've been sharing, the parameters were trade between $2,000 to $4,000 and set up 250 grids. If the range was tighter, let's say like $2,000 to $3,000, I might have maybe set up only 100 grids, but because it's like a slightly wider range, I decided to set up more grids so that I can buy and sell a little bit more frequently. The grid itself from buying and selling made a total of $1,135, and right now the unrealized profit is at $1,450, which adds up to about 25% at $2,500. This bot has actually been lasting 772 days. days. So it's been alive for quite a while. Within this bot, it's already used up $6,200 to hold an Ethereum position, and it has around $3,400 on the side to buy the dips. If I click on the parameters, you can see the parameters in a little bit more detailed. You can see that per grid, I'm making about 0.1 to 0.3%. That number will increase the less grids I set up. So the more grids you have, the less profit you'll make frequently. The less grids you have, the less your bot will buy and sell, but the profit range will be a little bit higher. That's probably something that you can set up, try, experiment, see what you like, and stick with what works for you. Now, the one last thing I want to go over is the start price. I set this bot up when Ethereum was at 2709. So on March 8th of 2022, Ethereum went down a little bit, bought the dips. It probably sold on the way on top, and this is probably where I was up a decent amount, right? Ethereum went up 30%, and then we had a giant crash, right? This is the bear market of crypto, went down about 67%, and unfortunately, because it went out of my parameters, right? It went under $2,000. It wasn't buying and selling any of this range until probably right around here. It probably sold a little bit in profit. And then I was kind of like holding until 2023 when Ethereum got back above $2,000. It was selling. And then it was buying, selling, buying. And it's probably buying and selling in these ranges. So from the time I set up my bot around $2,700 to the current price of Ethereum, if I just held onto Ethereum without a trading bot, I'd be currently up around 14%. But because the bot has consistently bought and sold, I am actually up 25%. So let's go over some of the pros and cons of trading bots. First, let's go over the cons or the bad things about setting up a bot. And there really is only one con, and that is that when price action moves up, when there's momentum to the upside, you won't be able to fully experience the gains of the market percentage. So in other words, if something moves up, let's say like 100%, right? Your position won't actually be up 100%. You'd be up a little bit less, maybe around like 70 or 60%. And that is because when you initially set up the bot, it used about 60 to 70% of your capital to buy. Therefore, when the market goes up, you're only going to be experiencing gains on that 70% versus the 100%. So for example, my Ethereum bot was set by $2,700. And if I just bought and held it, I'd actually be up around 50%. Where was the bot at the time? Well, the bot was up around 43%. Now, 43% is still pretty good, but the only reason why the bot was up 43% was because it locked in profits on the grid. But if we look over here, when I initially set up the bot, I was only up around 23%. During that time, if I just bought and held, I'd actually be up 31% instead of 23%. But there is one catch to this, and that is that you had to have sold at the exact top to maximize your gains. The question is, would you have actually sold at those gains? And so in hindsight, yeah, it would have been better if you just bought and held and sold, but most people don't do that. What most people do is they end up buying or dollar cost averaging in, and when things go up, they enjoy their gains, and when things go back down, you're like, oh man, I should have sold. And so yeah, the con may be that you won't be able to experience the full percentage of the upside, but it only plays in your favor if you're actually able to sell. Now, the pro is similar to the con, where when things are going to the downside, you'll also be experiencing less downside or unrealized loss. So for example, I bought a $1,000 position on my trading bot. 60%, $600 was used to buy Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides to drop 10%, I'm not going to be experiencing a $100 loss on my $1,000 bot. I'm only going to be experiencing like a $70 or $60 unrealized loss. And when things go back up, instead of being at break even, I'll actually be slightly in profit because the bot bought the dip and it's sold on the way up. So in that scenario, the bot is actually really nice because it'll outperform just buying and holding. Probably the biggest pro to a crypto trading bot is during a sideways market. So when the market is just consolidating and trading sideways, that is when the bot will probably perform the best. And the third pro is that the bot will trade for you on a regular basis. Now, some people think this is a great thing and people like it, and some people don't like it at all. And I think it comes down to your personal strategy and your portfolio management. Now, would I recommend you go all in on crypto trading bot? Probably not, right? I think just setting up a small percentage of your portfolio and setting up a bot makes sense, but I think to go kind of like all in on it, I would not recommend it. I'm going to keep this Ethereum grid trading bot and probably my Bitcoin grid trading bot live for as long as possible. I don't know if I'll ever close it out. Maybe I'll just keep it open forever, and we'll see how it performs compared to a lot of other things. The one neat thing about setting up a trading bot is that you can adjust and edit your parameters along the way. So if things are at a lower price or at a higher price, you can always adjust it. To be honest, my Ethereum grid trading bot, I kind of set it up and I completely forgot about it, and I revisited it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wait, it's actually outperforming me just holding and buying. So from a longer term perspective and looking at the bot now, yeah, I'm glad I set it up instead of just buying and holding. But like any sort of investments, it is a long-term outlook and long-term view. So I don't want you guys to think that, hey, I set this bot up, how come I'm only up X amount? We'll see how it does in the long term. But at least at the time of making this video, my Ethereum bot is outperforming me just buying and holding. Well, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave it down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Over. Good night, good morning, adios.